Welcome, summoners, to a very special episode of Instalock Mid, episode 11. As always, I'm your host, Motgnarom, with Renzler.
What's up?
And this week, joined by Aewynia.
Rawr.
Aloysius, again, could not join us this week.
Slacker.
He's got class, school started up again up in Rochester, so he will be joining us next week for sure, and we'll get right back into it. So, Aewynia, how is your week going?
It's been an awesome week. It's
Well,
oh gee.
We're gonna start that over.
were we not going to talk about that?
No, we're whatever she says,
could.
but don't allude to that. Start it over. Go ahead.
No, it was okay. Like it's funny.
Well, it's
because...
screwed now. I'll have to cut it out anyway.
No, just keep rolling with it. But well, it's been an amazing week. I'm all thrown off now, but
Just the way we like it.
sort of what he said. But anyway, I played this really cool game last night, and I honestly, I have not really been at the computer all week. I was sick, and then some other things happened. I got into this game with some rioters, and they're rioters, everybody knows, and one DC'd, and I ended up having to go 2v1 bot as Sona, and which was going great. I was CSing, I was getting kills, I was doing just fine. And I was doing great because when he came back, I was level 8 and he was like level 3. So there's a pretty big difference. And then he started complaining at me because I had CS and I had kills, or I was getting kills, because obviously at that point, you got to help the person out in lane and start carrying them, really supporting them. So that kind of really ruined the game for me. And just after that, I was just down. So that was my highlight game of the week, and then my bad game of the week. So
I think a lot of people have a misconception that all rioters are good. I played some ARAM games with them, because if you guys don't follow anybody from Riot on Twitter, you're making a horrible mistake. They're always playing games, always inviting people, and always talking with each other. So it's always kind of a cool way to talk with them. But they weren't that great, and maybe it's just because it was an ARAM, but I remember dominating.
Well, you have writers, I have to give it to Riot Nate, who is really engaged with the community. I always see him retweeting people streaming and talking and communicating with people, which is awesome to see. Not really once have I seen a company that is engaged with the community so much, but you have people, and I'm obviously not going to point out people. I find it's really rude.
I would point them out.
But it's just wow, you're not really kind of understanding that at this point, the only reason why you're not dying in this game and you're surviving at this point is because of me.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's kind of rude. And you being a rioter should always be held to the highest standard of how one should act within the community.
Yep. Summoner's
and so
code.
I was,
Summoner's code.
Exactly. And it was just I didn't even respond at that point because I was there's just no point. When you're not in lane and we're backed up to the tower, of course I want to CS what I can. Why not? You're not there. But if you're really far away and you're on the other side of me and somebody is getting away, I'm going to queue and get the kill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to let them get away. Be happy you get an assist over nothing over the fact that you were DC'd for so many, for X amount of time.
Yeah.
So, and it was, again, it was a highlight game, and at the same time, it kind of went sour. But it was a pleasure to still play with some of the people, because one of the rioters I really look up to and I love. So, either way, it's good and bad.
Nice. How about you, Renzler?
Well, I had a pretty solid week, trying to get ready for my transition to my new position at work, do all that fun stuff, try to get all my stupid supporty stuff figured out. And in games, my best game of the week was last night. Didn't record it, I don't know why, just didn't. And played Lux and freaking owned. It was something like 14-3 and 15 or something like that. I had to look it up. But it was push Q, push R, win, flex, go back, buy something else. That's how it was the whole game. I don't know. I think we were playing against a troll team. We had one guy that just DC'd and decided to just screw it. Came back, walked around in circles on the spawn platform for 10 minutes, and we said, screw it, we'll just do 4v5, and we totally carried. I had myself, a Darius, a Rengar, and I think a Jax, just steamroller, man. Yeah, I died a few times, but Q, R, win, flex, repeat. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty heavy steamrolling team.
That was just a fun game. And my worst game of the week is going to be saved for Zero to Hero, because I definitely had some zero moments. I'll tell you that much. I had some hero moments. I had some really awesome double kill stuff, but zero moments, yeah, I had my share of those. So that was my week.
Nice. I had a interesting week. I spent most of Tuesday in transit. I went down to New York City for a job interview that I think went really well. Company down there has not yet offered me a position, but I'm hoping to hear from them soon. I talked all about the podcast in one of the 3 interviews I had that day, so I'm expecting them to listen.
That's right. You better listen.
Yeah, New York City was fun. A little unimpressive. It's everything you see in pictures, so I guess I don't get it yet, but I'd love to live down there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But other than that, I had some awesome games this week. I will admit I haven't been playing League of Legends as much as I could be. Guild Wars 2 has been a lot of fun. I'm level 55. I've been playing around with Lux this week, and I think I'm ready to buy her. I have enough IP, I have enough RP for a really cool skin, and I've been having a ton of fun with her. I don't have a lot of AP mids. It's pretty much only Vygar and Annie. And I only supported with Lux once, so maybe I can give that another go. But I had some fun with her, so I think she may be my next purchase.
Nice.
So getting into some League of Legends news, we had a new tier of RP purchasing released this week. You can now, for $100, get 17,000 RP, which is a crazy amount of RP, but I don't doubt that people are going to spend it. I believe that there was probably a decent calling for this. Now that a lot of RP cards are being sold in stores, I believe that Riot is really looking to make a push to make more money so they can financially back Season 3 and potentially Season 4 coming out. So this week we were
also... $2 million prize pool.
Yeah. I mean, they're rolling in money as it is, but to continually come out with new content that people want to spend money on is going to always be a challenge for them. And I think they'll keep with it, and I think they'll be fine. But it's good to see that they're being proactive about generating new solutions in that area. And part of that will come through the e-commerce questions that got released this week. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. So the other part of this is that we have a RP sale going on right now. It's not actually the RP itself that's discounted, but you get double bonus RP if you make a purchase this week, which is really cool. So if you have that skin that you're looking for, you want to get Syndra when she comes out live, definitely go buy some RP right now, because you're gonna get a little bit more for your buck. So speaking of Syndra, she is out on the PTR right now. Now, like I've said before, I don't play on the PTR, but I have heard through the wire that there's a bit of an Easter egg if you use her ability to throw minions and you actually throw the blue and red buffs into players. There's a little bit of an Easter egg there, similar to like Graves using his smoke cloud on Nocturne. Just a little audio thing. So if you play on the PTR and you haven't tried that out yet, definitely go give that a shot. Aewynia, I know Renzler doesn't, but Aewynia, do you play on the PTR at all?
I do here and there. It kind of depends. If something's really interesting to me, I do make my way over there. Usually I like to go, because there's not that very many people over there. I like to go when there's a group of people going, just to keep it fun.
Nice.
So last time.
Have you played Syndra yet?
No, I haven't. I have watched videos on her, and she's fairly interesting. She reminds me a lot of Orianna.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a lot of people, the way that you kind of have to move the orbs around.
Well, it's cool. It's a very interesting concept, and I love Orianna. So I'm pretty excited for her to come out. I'm just, you play on the PTR, and of course, hopefully she's toned down. I don't want any more Diana's released and Darius's.
Now, when this was first released, Aloysius had mentioned that she does look like she's going to be a high skill cap champion, and it definitely seems that way. Especially with champions that have a crazy mechanic like Orianna and like Syndra, you usually have to see those high skill caps and the people summoners. Wow, that was crazy and confuzzled. You usually will see summoners that have very high skill in those characters really be able to destroy with them, and then others who play them on the free week and they just kind of fizzle out. So it'll be good to see her once she's alive, but we don't have any indication as to when that is yet. Big news out of PAX Prime. The North American Regionals happened. Team Solo Mid took victory over Dignitas in the finals. Curse not even mentioned. Suck it.
Suck it!
Now, all joking aside, I was very happy to see TSM win, only for the reason that Dignitas and Curse did not. The whole cheating / bribing / conspiracy, I don't think was reminiscent of good summoning, good summoner's codeness. So to see a team win despite all that is a good thing.
Now,
and I don't know if you watched the stream and saw, I think it was, I forget which member of Team Solo Mid it was, but right after in the post-game interview, he said that it was a very disappointing grand finals, and it was the easiest game they've ever played.
That was Reggie, and I went to Twitter over that, and he was like, well, Dignitas and everybody was talking crap before, and I understand there's healthy, like, oh, we're going to dominate, we're going to 2-0 before. I believe it's normal. But no matter what happened, he says, and he posted a blog on this, that they went back, and this was before the post-game interview, that pretty much Scar was saying, oh, well, this and that, making up excuses instead of saying, yeah, you guys won. You guys did great. Mm-hmm. So that's why he went up on stage and he said that. And I'm sorry, no matter how you try to swing it, it's still, you're supposed to be somebody who's high up in this community, who a lot of people look to. And you have no tact at all when you sink to that level. No matter how you try to do it, and I'm not hating on him, this is just my view. It's just, you could say, you could have said many different things other than that. It might have been the easiest. So if it's the truth or not, but you are still supposed to be somebody who is, trying to come up with a word here, you're not supposed to act like a moron. And that's what he did. He acted like a stupid...
I mean, I know it was a really stupid thing, but I died laughing when I heard that, just because it's so cocky, it's so in your face. The problem is, for everybody else who shares that same attitude, is that they can actually back it up in wins. And
yeah, they can back it up. That I don't doubt. It's not like Curse is saying this or anything. It's TSM, and TSM they're great. I'm not doubting their skills at all, but I think if you act this way, you're going to have to expect some backlash. And you don't have to apologize, but next time kind of choose your words a little bit better.
Did you watch the pregame videos? Those were the best.
I watched some of them.
Yeah,
and like I said,
man, I was watching the stream live and the audience just went nuts, because that was when there was a Curse, it was Curse CLG, and they were calling each other's bot lanes trash and other various things. That was hilarious. But when Dignitas just started ripping into TSM on that pregame video, that was just so good. I was like, you guys are so going to get taken apart, and that's exactly what happened. It's so good.
I knew TSM was going to win.
Yeah, I knew it. I was just watching. I was like, sweet, I just want to see a team just dominate. And while neither game was a true domination, that second game, that was a pretty sound victory.
I loved the double or triple teleport and promote strategy.
Oh my god, that was so good. That was so good.
I think once we go to Season 3 and we have more consistent big tournaments like this, we're definitely going to see a lot of shifting metas in the game.
Oh yeah.
Right
all
now,
new stuff.
Right now I feel like we are kind of in a solidified meta, if you will, where every tournament kind of brings out some new kind of crazy tactic that the teams have been milling over, or something that's come over from Korean esports. And that sort of changes the way that everybody else plays. But I think once we're down to a weekly schedule for tournaments that matter, and people are starting to have to develop their tactics more and quickly, I think the idea of the meta as we know it will change drastically. I think we're going to be seeing tactics shift up every week and some really new and intuitive stuff come out.
And I'm pretty excited for that. I do think that a little change would be nice, and I think they're kind of waiting till season 3 to really start doing. I think League of Legends is going to change pretty significantly once season 3 comes around, or even before it. So I'm pretty excited for it, and it's fun watching and seeing what the pro players come up with. It's pretty crazy.
And speaking of watching League of Legends, League has made some big steps recently with actually supporting the idea of watching the game. They've unlocked a streamers portal where basically players groups can come on and host their or have their stream be on the League of Legends websites and have it be produced by not produced, have it be viewable through leagueoflegends.com in a portal that they've created. But they've done so under some pretty interesting circumstances. So the rules, so to speak, that you need to follow in order to become a League of Legends featured streamer through this program are a little tight. You need to follow the Summoner's Code, obviously. Be contactable, not a problem. Maintain your own channel, which basically means you have to provide your own software to stream the games. You need to have a service that'll do it like Twitch or own TV. Now, where this kind of gets interesting, I'll go over the other minor details. Being fair and considerate to others, obviously.
Don't
stay focused. Right. Stay focused on League of Legends. Don't have your stream be a commercial. Those things are understandable. The kind of difficult part, however, is you need to maintain 1 million viewer minutes per month. Now, that means if you have 100 viewers and they watch your stuff for an hour, that's, 600 minutes total?
Yes.
And now you need 1 million. So, Aewynia, what were the statistics that Riot gave for how much that actually is?
6,000 minutes, not 600.
Oh, sorry, 6,000 minutes.
What they're saying is you're going to have 105 concurrent viewers per minute, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, approximately. And this comes right off their site. So, and you look at that, and that's pretty outrageous to me.
That's 40 hours a week.
That's a lot.
Yes,
but now,
that's a full-time job.
Granted, I've been looking at some of the statistics for the streamers that are already out there. There are some that get 1,000 viewers live. So it may be a little bit easier, but that's going to be for some of the people who are more well known for streaming.
I have an idea.
So
go ahead and finish, but I have an idea.
Okay, so they do have some incentives that are going out. There are 5 different tiers of streaming. They do ask that past tier 3, you do need to have some coaching content, which I think is a strong move on their part, so that it's not just kind of selfish streaming from the players, that you actually are providing something back to the community. But they do have some really cool stuff that they're giving out. You get a custom forum avatar, some free skins, champions, and other swag. It says for your stream. I assume that means that you can give it out to the people who you're streaming to, your viewers, but I guess we'll have to see. And then some quote more awesome experiences to be announced. So I imagine that they're going to take some of the best streamers that they have and do some partnerships when they have these tournaments coming up in season 3, and they're trying to build the basic framework to get this started. So I'm in support of it. I don't know how I feel about the 1 million minutes per. I'm not sure what harm it does to have.
I don't know.
Well, 1 million is for a tier 1. So if you want to be tier 5, you have to have 80 million.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Where are you getting
tier 1
numbers? Where are you getting these numbers? I'm looking at the FAQ. I don't see
it's
it.
On their actual featured streamer program, and it says sign up now, and you scroll down and it says tier 1 you have to have 1 million, tier 2 1.2 million, tier 3 2.4, tier 4 24 million, and then it goes ahead for tier 5 and jumps all the way up to 80 million viewer minimum minutes per month. And you have to have it for a consecutive 2 months. You have to hold it. And you look, and it's really cool. And I think this overall program is great. And it also breaks down for tier 3, you have to do coaching content monthly. And then for tier 4 and 5, you have to do it weekly. I think that is great, especially for people just getting into League of Legends. I think that's awesome. I think the issue is this pretty much needs to be called the pro player stream.
Yeah, because
Right.
that's all you're going to get.
It is what it is. They're calling it featured streamer program. It's for pro players.
Yeah.
There's plenty of great players who are, let's say, over 2K ELO that do very well, but they're not known. They don't get the viewers. And this would be a great outlet for them, but they don't qualify.
Right.
And then you have great communities that Riot rarely, if at all, acknowledges that do casting or they do streaming, and they're good, legitimate people in the community. And a lot of times they're a lot more, less ragey than your actual pro players. So I think it's a good thing, but at the same time, I think they really need to overlook it and they need to make it more accessible. So I think they kind of need to have, well, if you don't meet this sort of requirement, you should really, let's say, give a reason why you think you should be considered. And, you would just pretty much stay at tier 1 if you're not getting the viewership.
Right.
Right. Now, what I want to know, they aren't, in my opinion, they're not very clear in this post. They do make mention of non-Riot games, but they don't really say whether or not it's allowed or not.
I believe you're not supposed to. I think if you're going to
that's so bad.
Not supposed to what?
You're not supposed to go and stream Guild Wars 2 or Diablo or anything like that. You're not supposed to even, it says it in there, you're not supposed to even have like clips of YouTube up and stuff like that. If you're on this program, it's League of Legends and League of Legends only.
What I'm wondering, though, is if they're just, because to me this is a shot to take away, to bring in the viewership of the streaming community solely through their website, probably so they can gain a more accurate picture of what that content is. But for people who do shoutcasting for games and they do it through LOL replays or do recaps for games, I wonder if that's going to be allowed. Or, for instance, I think
that's acceptable. I think it's acceptable, but I think what you can't do is you can't take a tournament and then broadcast your tournament off your stream.
See, I don't know. I think there's a very large community out there who is more than willing to probably switch over to something like this. I would love to, for instance, be able to have our group of Instalock Mid and Instalock Mid-related people have a channel through this where we could stream.
That would be so awesome.
The episode, given we'd have to critique our content to match the Summoner's Code, which I don't think we violate that, but there may be something about saying or something like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously through editing I delete that stuff,
right.
But yeah.
But if you're streaming it live, you can't.
Yeah,
so
live it's different.
But I mean, you have great communities. You have, Severity Gaming, but you have, I'm going to go ahead and, League of Girls. That's strictly League of Legends community. While there's girls that play other things that get on there and they play. They don't rage. They don't, do anything special out of the ordinary. And we do pull, considering pretty good viewership, but not 1 million minutes a month. I think that number is pretty far-fetched. And the only way you get those numbers is if you're a pro player.
Yeah.
Well, just to inject this, I'm looking at the featured streamers page right now live, and Robert X. Lee is one of the newer streamers on there. Apparently he's some 2K plus ELO, really famous guy. He has 2,000 viewers. So if he streams for only 2 hours and he's able to maintain that viewer, it's 12,000 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, that's not a lot. To hit 1 million, you're playing a lot.
Maybe a lot, yeah.
Maybe
you have to do it as a full-time job, which is the other issue. So unless you're a pro player that's pulling in money from somewhere else,
no, it's 120,000 minutes. God, my math is off. I'm sorry.
So no, they break it down that basically 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. If you have this many, let's say we're going by this number that they laid out, 105 viewers. For 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Mm-hmm. That is a full-time job. So if you're a student, Well, you still can, but if you have a full-time job already, you might as well forget it. You might as well just, you know, stop. You pretty much have to be a pro player.
A pro
Wow,
player.
I
have to be a
can't
pro
talk.
player to do that. Yeah.
Pro player
roll with it.
to pretty much be able to do this, where you're already pulling in money from people watching your stream or premium memberships, or you know, you're winning tournaments like TSM and not Curse. And so it's overall, I think they really need to assess what it is they're doing here, because I'm going down the line and you do see low ELOs on there. He does have 69 viewers. I'm kind of curious how he got on there.
Yeah.
Which I think it's awesome. I think it's awesome that he's on there, Dominant Dominion's on there. I'm loving seeing the communities on there, but you look and you see Double Lift, Dan, Frog, and Crumbs, Kobe Cheese. It's pretty much all your pro players.
Yeah, and Natwin, big Korean player.
So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it goes forward. We'll probably see some sort of adjustment, and definitely a lot of questions surface from the community as this starts to solidify. And we may see a different environment, like we will see a completely different environment once Season 3 comes out. So, I guess moving on for now, since I think we've beat the subject to death a little bit. Oh, yeah.
The show is now the oh, never mind. I killed it already. Just the low blows to Curse.
Guess what? I'm cutting a lot of that out. Yeah. You're going to hear this, and you're not going to understand what just happened. Okay. If I can get Phoenix to say, okay, 24-hour live stream right after the recording's over. 24-hour Renzler live stream of League of Legends.
That's insane. 24
wow.
hours.
Give me 1 sec. Hold on. You guys keep talking.
Okay.
So pretty much, like, I'm looking at this, and while he's away, and I don't know if this is recording or not, Pentakill is on there too. So I'm guessing they are allowing the community on there, and if that's the case, I think that's awesome.
I think they're allowing anybody on there, but they're probably going to drop you if you have low viewers. I'm going to sign up.
That could definitely be the case, because if you would say you're tier 3 and for 3 months consecutively you don't meet the minimum minutes, they drop you a tier.
Right. I'm going to send them an email either way and ask them explain what Instalock is, explain what I want to achieve through this streaming program, and see what they do with it, basically. I don't think there's any harm in it. And maybe I'll reach out
let me know
on Twitter. Yeah, no, definitely. Because I want to start streaming. I'm considering some options. I tried FF Split, which is a free option, but it doesn't work for some reason. It cuts out every 45 seconds and stops the stream. So it's a known glitch that they have, but they haven't fixed it yet. So I don't know. I need to find something that will stream well, because there's a lot of things I want to stream, and League of Legends is definitely one of them.
I use Twitch. Twitch works. Or,
I need
XSplit. I'm sorry. XSplit.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna try like the month trial of it, or the month that's only like $15.
For what, XSplit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the license. Whenever I think you buy the license for like X amount for so many years.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did.
That's what I have.
you can get it. I'm looking at the prices now. You can get it for 3 months. Oh, they took out the lower. Oh, personal. There we go. A 3 month for $15.
There you go.
So, and that's for personal. Wait, can I? Okay, I can't do it for commercial use, basically.
Not on the personal license.
Yeah.
That's why I have the commercial license.
Wait, can't I? Can I still post it to Twitch or whatever?
You can post it to Twitch. That's what it's there for, but you cannot make money off of it. So as soon as your channel starts making revenue for you, by the terms of service, you have to get the commercial version.
Right. So I'll do that then, but I just want to give it a shot for 3 months. I don't even know how well my computer's going to it actually, but I don't know how much I'm going to like it. Okay.
It works great.
So in other news this week, Severity Gaming has released its final details on the Tri-Divisional Fall Frenzy. Renzler, do you want to give a couple words about that?
Sure, yes. So the Severity Gaming Tri-Divisional Fall Frenzy, that is our League of Legends tournament. And the idea behind it, we say tri-divisional, you have 3 different areas that you can enter in, and you can actually be on teams. I think we allow in the rules that you can be on more than one team for one bracket, but you cannot be on more than one team in a given bracket. The idea is that the casual players who want to be in a tournament don't have to go up against the pro guys or the guys that play this game 10, 12 hours a day. That's why we separate things. You don't want to go into a tournament and get everybody all ready and do all your practice, then go in your first match, you just get completely owned. So that's why we've got the casual, the competitive, and the professional brackets. Pro teams, they have to have an ELO of 1900 or higher. The competitive brackets, you have to have an ELO of 1400 to 1899. And the casual bracket is $13.99, and everybody else all the way down to level 20. So you don't have to have a level 30 to enter the tournament. The first X teams in each bracket actually get in for free. So the first 8 or 16 teams in casual, free entry. Just sign up and that's it. There's no entry fee. After that, it's $6 for the entire team. So it's $1.20 per person. That's less than a value meal at basically any fast food place. Now for competitive, the entry fee is $25, and that's for the team. So it's $5 each. It's still less than a fast food meal, which is great. And the competitive bracket, we have it at $55. Now everybody gets a cash prize. We don't just keep all the entry money. In fact, that's the cash prize. So depending on the amount of entries we get for the casual bracket, because there really is no limit, you're looking at $300, $400, $500 for first place. And competitive bracket, you're looking at about $800, $900 for first place. And the first place team for the professional bracket, if we manage to fill it, it's $1,000.
Mm-hmm. So, and in addition to that, we also have some skins and some Riot points that'll be going around as well.
And those are automatic. And for casual and competitive, because the professional people, they always get really good stuff. What we're doing is we've got some hardware stuff for the pro bracket, and we've got a tentative, it's not guaranteed yet, but AeroShot has told us that they will send us pallets of stuff to give out. So we've got, I think, like 180 units, 210 units, something like that. And those will go out to the first and second place teams on the casual and the competitive, in addition to the money, the skins, the Riot points, and all that. So it's the pricing, we're really trying to make it worth it. It's going to be September 28th and 29th, Friday, Friday evening, and a bit of Saturday, but not all day. It's not going to be one of those grueling 12-hour tournaments that I've been to. They're horrible. At the end of the day, you just want to drop and sleep for a week. And go to our website, severitygaming.com. The link is on the main page. We've got sign-ups there, registration. You can pay your entry fees. Everything is done through our website. And it's going to be great. We've been gearing up for this for a while. We've been really trying to get all the information straightened out. And now that we've got it, we can't wait. So absolutely, it's going to be great.
The tournament will be shoutcasted by some pretty big name shoutcasters. We have Rapid and Nuggles from Legend Commentaries. We have some people from Killane Bot going to do some shoutcasting, and some other friends of the shows. So
Matt Demers, SMC Matt, is going to be there doing some shoutcasting. Delacour, our leader, is going to be doing shoutcasting as well. We've got a whole series of admins, a whole legion of people ready to run this tournament. And just to put you on the spot, Aewynia, you have mentioned that you may possibly enter a team as well.
Yes, I posted the news up to the League of Girls, so it shouldn't be too hard to get the girls together because they've been pumped, excited, a lot of them playing together, and a lot of them have formed teams, so I'm excited to see who comes in place.
I'm stoked for that. I've also talked to Pentakill app guys and the Killane Bot guys because they have more than 3 or 4 people, so they're also thinking of entering teams. So it's good community people that we've had on the show and other community people that we're just meeting now. I can't wait to get you guys into the tournament and just see what happens. And of course, any general viewer, if you want to jump in, sign up. Go ahead. If you're one of the first 8 or 16 teams, there's no entry fee. Just sign your people up, get to practicing, and let's play some games.
Awesome.
Rawr.
So that sounds good. Moving on to more news. We should be expecting to see a new champion at least announced soon. And we did get a little bit of a tidbit through some red posts. I forget, and this is bad reporting, but I forget who the Riot employee was, but somebody had mentioned that the next upcoming champion would be a quite monstrous champion, and that does align with some of the posts that we saw earlier where they named a few of the champion types that would be coming out. So looking forward to seeing a new monster champion come out. What do you guys want out of the next big champion. We've seen some new mechanics, we've seen some darker styles, but overall, I mean, what do you guys want from the new champion, monster champion?
Okay, I think I'll start it out here. I've I'm obviously newer to League, and I haven't played everybody yet, but I do understand the difference in mechanics. What I would like to see is not only like a Jace kind of mode slash shifter kind of stance kind of person, but I actually want to see a skill change because of that. So whether it's some kind of robotic thing that can take multiple forms, or if it's a person that has multiple stances, I either want to see one of the standard QWE buttons, or I'd love to see an ult that can be different depending on what mode or stance or what have you, be that way. That would just be great if you had a skill that was actually dynamic with how you were playing the champion, because then way you can be a little bit more versatile in what you're doing. You could have a damage ult or a CC ult or maybe one of each. Now, they can't be overpowered, obviously. There's a lot of balancing that would come with that, and maybe it just wouldn't work. Maybe Riot's try it and they just don't see it working, but that's what I'd love to see. So having a shapeshifter like this and giving us that kind of possibility of, oh, well, what can he do? It's not just him changing or moving a little bit differently, or maybe having a hop or a stun or a CC or something, but maybe we can actually really take those abilities and make them completely different and versatile depending on how you're playing it. So that way you've got a jungler, but you also have a bot laner, and he can go mid if he has to, kind of thing. So I'm stoked. That's what I'd like to see.
I'd love to see a champion whose primary mechanic, their ulti mechanic, is putting up a spell shield that doesn't just negate the spell that's being cast onto it, but actually copies it and gives you a little bit of a chance to go ahead and use that. So if you can imagine it being a bit of like a tankier character running up and then getting knocked away by Janna's ulti, but they hit that R ability just before he did, so now he can actually go ahead and use that ultimate ability.
That's
I think
pretty cool.
that would be the craziest champion to play against, because now you need to take into consideration everybody that you've brought to the table and how that's now going to affect your fights.
I absorb your power and use it as my own.
That terrible Karthus ult at the end of a team fight, or even worse, at the beginning of a team fight, when everything's kind of chaotic, having that to be right back at you could
Nocturne.
Right. It could just be, I don't know, a complete game.
I would say something like Ezreal as well. That nice cross map projectile. Oh, look, something's crap, I'm dead. That kind of thing, that'd be so awesome to run into a fight. Ezreal's like, I'm going to kill all y'all fools. Bashes R, charges up, shoots the thing across the map. You can see it coming. You're like, oh, thanks for that. You push R, you absorb it. You come after him like 5 minutes later, and oh, karma sucks, doesn't it? Hit R again and just kill him. That'd be sweet.
Nice. How about you, Aewynia?
I want to see my Yordle champion that comes back to defend Earth.
Nope, no more Yordles. I already have too many.
I want my Yordle. I want my Yordle or champion. I think it'd be cute with a Yordle with a big spatula that comes back, and his sole purpose is to hunt down Warwick to defend Earth. I want my Earth defending champion.
Isn't that already kind of Vayne's thing, though? Who's she?
No, that's not Vayne.
Isn't Vayne hunting?
She's hunting evil, but she's not defending Earth. No, the sole purpose is Earth.
Gotcha.
But I thought it'd be cool. Like, they have the spatula and everything, and it would actually be like a sort of ability where like a Yordle would kind of like hop up off the ground and just like slap people with it, and just like do like a whole bunch of crazy champions. And it could be like a water type champion, or there's a lot of things you could do based off of that. But that's what I want to see from Riot.
Well, I believe it was SMC Matt who made the comment that a lot of the champions have been dark recently. So hopefully something like that, lighthearted and fun, would be kind of cool.
Something like an Annie lollipop kind of, carefree champion. That'd be kind of interesting to play with.
Yeah.
See what they do.
Kind of creepy.
That is really creepy.
I think the last one was really Lulu. The last one was pretty much Lulu. Yeah. Unless you count Jace. But Lulu was the last one that was kind of like carefree and kind of like really fun to play. I think the last time I was excited for a champion was Lulu.
I don't know. I like the crazy dark ones. That's just me.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Speaking of moderation, we're all going to need some moderation in our budgetary spending. New e-commerce director Hippoplaus answered some questions in his introduction forum post. And some of the particular things that I pulled out of this was some information about some potential new revenue situations that they're going to be having coming out. So one thing that he kind of dropped was the potential for new cosmetic customization for your champion. I'm assuming we're talking obviously about hats here. Every champion is going to have hats, just like Dota. Insert laugh track. Flop. In addition to that, we'll also be seeing some potential champion bundles, some three champion bundles, some maybe create your own bundles. And I'm all for this. I definitely think that Riot providing a free service can, as long as it's not game breaking or enhancing the actual in-game meta, go ahead and charge us for whatever you want for little fun cosmetic things or champions to come out.
Well, can you imagine that? Have like MMO style customization on a game like this? They could sell so much.
I think that what we'll see is maybe some customizable skins where you may be able to pick different color schemes for certain skins, or I don't know, maybe like a banner or something like that.
Right.
That you can place in game. Also, maybe some different taunts or the different like 1 2 3 4 control 1 2 3 4 abilities, the taunts and laughs and cheers and stuff like that. I think that's all cool, but what I really want to see is the ability to purchase champions with skins in bundles post them coming out.
Right.
I always hate when we get the weekly deals where it's 3 champions RP reduced and then 3 skins RP reduced, where the skin is really awesome and I want to buy it just because the skin is cool, but I don't own the champion, so I can't buy the skin. I would love it if just once a week they had a champion, a skin for some RP price. And you know you're going to be paying more, obviously, than you would for the champion on its own or the skin on its own. But, you know, together you're going to get a little bit of a discount. And I think just the ability to do that would be really cool.
I think I can make money. So be listening, Riot. We're giving you great ideas.
They're gonna
what I would like to see is, I've already spent enough money in this game. So I am at the point where it's kind of starting to get out of hand. And to me, I don't really see any sort of reward from it. I would like to see like a skin reward program where you buy so many skins in, like, let's say certain tiers, not excluding, you know, your legendary ones, but let's say if you bought 9 of the 975 skins, you got one for free of your choice for a champion.
Yeah.
Buy
That would
10,
be cool.
get one free.
It will buy 9, get one we'll get one free. You know, I was trying to make it 10 or something like that, because you're already throwing like a lot of money into this game. Like when Pool Party Ziggs and Nautilus came out, I bought them right off the bat. And it's just, if I'm scared if I go through my champions in the skins, like some of those champions I bought with RP. And
you can email Riot and ask.
I don't want to. I'm scared. I do the math quickly in my head, or a roundabout, and let's say it's more so over $500.
Oh yeah, so, I can imagine.
Probably getting close to the $1,000 range. So if I've spent this much already on skins, I've never really had anything in return. So, but you go most places, and if you buy so many scoops of ice cream, you get one free. It's to kind of, you know, keep people going. But it's like at the point, I don't really have any real incentive besides the fact that it's a really cool skin. Just so I kind of want to see more and get more out of the money that I spent.
Right. I could imagine them doing something where it's like have a bundle where it's buy 2. If you were to break down the different costs into tiers, I don't know what they are off the top of my head, but buy 2 975 champions, get 1. Buy 2, get 1 of equal or lesser value for free is a better way to put it, I guess. Yeah, just getting a little bit more for your money. I mean, more so than, I guess, purchasing, I want the times where there are certain skins for certain events to come out, and that's the only time you can get them. I really like that system where if it's Christmas or the holiday season and they have different holiday skins coming out that I know other players won't be able to get in a year, uh, I would still buy those because it's fun and it shows you how long you've been playing the game, how committed you are to the game. I'd like to see those come back, and I would be more apt to spend money on that kind of content than I would something that I know that everybody else
Right.
is.
Now, I don't remember which champion it was for, but I know the NA regionals did that.
They did not.
They
Had
decided not to because the announcer, even the person on stage, even said that, oh yeah, we've got codes or skins to give away here, and the weekend or she said a weekend after the NA regionals, you'll be able to buy it. After that one weekend,
I believe that was for PAX. During the weekend of PAX, you were able to buy both Arcade Sona and Riot Graves from the store.
Yeah, but you can
So
still
if you,
buy them.
I believe they're shut out. They're not
Really?
available anymore. Yeah, they're not available anymore.
Well, I don't own Sono. Or
I'm
Graves,
looking at the store right now.
Oh, okay. I guess that's a good compromise, but I still like. I want to know that if I go to PAX, well, when I go to PAX East next year, that I'm going to have a skin that nobody else can really get unless they went to PAX
Right.
East.
Well, that's the thing though, is like you want that, and I'm kind of 50-50 on the situation. It's not really fair that you spend X amount of money to go to something like PAX that's exclusive. Now, they were able to do this because it wasn't called PAX Sona. It's called Arcade Sona.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's not exclusive to PAX. So PAX doesn't own the full rights to it, unlike Jax.
PAX Jax.
Right. But
Yeah,
now
PAX
they've started doing just Riot as the skin they released. So they had Riot Nasus.
Well, no. But usually you got that skin unless you met a rider. Of course, you won it from somebody. So that's how you got those skins. So I think it's kind of sucky in the sense of they stopped doing PAX whoever with PAX, just what it seems to me, and I'm probably wrong here, but just for money. Like they probably stopped doing that so they could release it in the store and get money off of it instead of going, hey, I went to PAX and I won this skin. I have it and not many people have it. So it's kind of like it loses that sort of value to it.
Right.
But it's cool. Like I can understand, okay, Riot Graves, but it was just for a weekend. But it's just like, okay, at this point, if you go to season 2 finals, you get a ribbon skin. Okay, I can save $1,000 and just stay at home and just spend $10 on the skin.
Right.
It's not that cool anymore. So while Riot's trying to do something great, they're also doing something that, to me, not that great.
Right. No, I agree. I want the exclusivity. It's something that, and I think a lot of games, you're seeing less and less of. They want everyone, despite your level of casual to hardcore, have the same access to the same items. And honestly, I don't like that. I like a little bit of exclusivity. I want to know that when I see somebody with a really badass skin, that they just didn't throw money at it and that they may have done something. Which, by the way, a really good way to integrate something like this is to activate the last button on the the summoner profile page, which is achievements. How long has that button been there and not been in use?
Where?
If you go to the, and Renzler will put a screenshot of this because I know I don't think a lot of people realize it's there. But if you go to click/edit your summoner profile in the League of Legends client, and you see it says, your name, for me, Motgnarom.
Yeah, I see it at the end, achievements. I can't click it, though. There's nothing there.
Yeah, nobody can click it, because there's no achievements yet, but that button's been there forever. Give us achievements.
Really?
Just stick it in the UI. Doesn't matter. We'll code it later.
It's just at some point down the road, we'll get to it. You just, bursting out more skins is more important.
No, see, what is kind of concerning is if you see that button there and it's grayed out, all of a sudden it's patched and it's gone.
No.
That's when you want to think about it.
No, I want achievements.
I think just take the button away. It's like, oh, when they're complaining about the freaking button, huh? Go ahead and disable that, dude. Put out another patch. Just get rid of the button.
Achievements
You're like,
Achievements when
"Yeah."
you do them
The
right.
mystery button.
Achievements when you do them right are fantastic. I want to see an achievement for pentakills. I want to see an achievement for hitting certain ranked scores. I want to see all these awesome achievements. Throw some skins attached to them. Get us some cool rewards and whatnot, and do it. I don't know why it's not there yet, but
I don't either, but that interests me now
Get
because
on
there
that,
are
Riot.
people that like
Right
doing
now.
achievements.
Stop working
And
on champs
I-
and stop working on skins. Give me my button.
Stop skins, Riot. Give us our achievement tab.
no new champions till we get.
Yeah. No new champs. No new champs.
Hold off season 3. Get us some
just
achievement.
pause
first.
season 3. Just postpone everything. Sit down and work on that stupid achievement button.
Because us three said so.
Yes.
Yep. We
And
obviously
we
have.
matter, damn it.
We have the most say in the community, so pretty much solely representative of the community.
We are the voices. That's gonna bug me now every time I go. It's really gonna bug me.
Is it just grayed out, but it actually works? Is it just, oh, can I click it and just go, oh, cool achievements, yay? Nope.
I know.
Still
Well, when you
doesn't
click
do
it, it makes
anything.
it sound. It makes a sound. I don't know
Yeah.
if you noticed.
No, I
What's the
haven't tried
sound?
it.
I muted all my sounds. What's the sound?
It's the
It
you're
just
clicking a
beep,
button
beep, beep.
sound.
Like I hit it 3 times and it went.
Oh
beep, beep,
yeah,
beep.
it's the you can't do that button.
Oh.
No,
lame.
it's just like when you click anything else,
Button it. Okay.
or like when you scroll over. You
I
scroll
just tweeted at like, I tweeted at Pendragon, but he's not on that often, so it's probably a dead link. But hopefully we'll see that get
Yeah.
fixed. I want my
Fix
achievement.
that.
Speaking of achievables, Zero to Hero Renzler. Take it
All
over.
right. What's up? Okay, so last week's format worked great. So I've taken that and I've kind of amped it up just a little bit. And hopefully this week's video is a little bit more in time with what I'm shouting into the microphone. I tried cutting it as good as I could, but I realized after I rendered it and uploaded it that I had screwed up a little. So let's see here. Zero to Hero for episode 11. I would say I did pretty well. Here we go. Let's get into it. Game 1. I've just renamed Game 1 the Renzler Show. Despite a slow beginning where I gave up first blood, I came back like an angry monster and straight backpacked my team like we were on a hiking trip. Check out this clip where it starts out as a 3v2. My teammate drops like a bag of hammers. I take out one guy, and it's a 2v1. Do I run like a punk? Hell no. I stand up like a man and I drop a fool before finally getting killed. Now we're in mid lane, just minding our own business until BAM! It's a team fight, baby. We're chasing, they're running, there's damage everywhere. But who comes out on top? We do, baby. We storm the base and are falling back when, oh look, another team fight. Don't remember the last time? Don't you remember how that ended? Oh, that's right, I killed you. Yeah, I went down, but I took 2 posers with me. Don't look now, it's a jungle gank! Another kill and an inhibitor, and a dumb kill at the Nexus wraps this game up. Looking at the results screen, you'll see I went 12, 4, and 5 for the big victory. Game 2 was pretty uneventful and really short. We blasted the other team into submission as they surrendered at 21 minutes. No results screen here, but I did go 3, 3, and 2. Game 3 sucked. I went on a death spree. Yay! What's a death spree? It's like being awesome, only the opposite of that. Instead of saying a string of just clever things, I'll just let you watch my death clips. Yeah, that's me dying. The result screen tells the tale. I went 5, 9, and 5, and we held out for 43 minutes before finally freaking losing. Game 4 was basically identical to Game 3. I went 1 and 4 and trolled myself and my team. We surrendered at 21 minutes and ended the pain quickly. Game 5 was the Renzler Show Part 2. I grabbed my bags, filled them up with my special brand of honey-cured ham, boarded the pain train, and promptly rammed it into our enemies' faces. I blasted through fools like they were made of construction paper. Boom! A kill. Oh, look! Another kill. Oh, don't look now. You're dead! The results screen shows I went 9, 3, and 10 as we picked up the victory. Game 6 just went nowhere. I mean, I was totally shut down because I had a terrible matchup in my lane, and I'm just bad at the game. I went 2, 7, and 2, and we surrendered just short of 28 minutes. Here's the results screen so you can laugh at my build. That's it for Zero to Hero for this week. I went 3 and 3 in my games like a troll. This is Renzler. Peace.
You know, they really do need to add a death spree when you die.
Troll
With-
hard. I need some
with-
kind of thing to tell
Like
me that.
if you don't get any assists and you just keep dying, they definitely need to have
06 and 0.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
little death spree, or I don't even
Death
know.
spree.
I can't do it in that elegant League of Legends voice, summoner voice. That would be interesting.
Death spree.
Thank you for that Zero to Hero section. For those of you who are very interested in watching somebody very bad become not so bad, Renzler does have quite a bit of videos up of his games, streams, and whatnot on the Severity Gaming channel, so you should definitely go and check those out. Speaking of checking things out, our community spotlight is actually a community update this week. Again, we're joined by Aewynia from League of Girls, and you have some updates for us.
Yes, thank you for having us back on, or more so me. But last time I was on, I believe I talked about the Judgment League of Girls tournament. I just want to say that was a hit. It went so well. And if you do a search, there's this, I believe on YouTube, it's called The Best Game I've Ever Casted.
Yep.
That is from our tournament, and I think everybody has seen it.
That was on the front page of the subreddit.
Yeah.
Yes, it was on the front page of the Reddit, and that was a girl named Silent Dream. Yes, it's a girl who just there's no words for it. And I was actually the Nunu on the other side, so imagine my jaw dropped during that play. But we actually have, if you're just so happen to be on the European servers, we have a tournament coming up for you girls. And then also some people from Sweden are looking to make an actual all-girls team to travel around, all paid for and everything. So you should head over and check that out if you want more details. But other than that, big announcement, we have decided to open our doors to allow more of the community in, and we have accepted males to join. You're still not you're not a full-fledged member, but you can come in and use the chat and post on, the general part of our forums and communicate.
End of sexism.
Yes, end of sexism. But the thing is, you act out of hand, you're just going to be removed right off the bat. So I still have control over that, but the girls really wanted it, and I don't like being separated from the community. I love the community. So it's been going great so far, and that's pretty much like the big updates from the community.
Cool. All right, well, we love having you guys on. It's always fun to have people on to talk with. So if you're out there and you have your own little community that you want to have featured on the show, just go ahead and contact us via Twitter, and we'll see about getting you on. So moving on to, and now actually speaking of this section, we're gonna move into the Would You Rather / questions section as a challenge to our audience this week. Please name this section. Come up with something fun and exciting to give this section a little bit more pizzazz. And perhaps even, if you would like, send us a question for us to answer. Next week, I know we have the people from Pentakill coming back on to talk about some of the updates from their app. And we'll have, the original three, myself, Renzler, and Aewynia on. So if you have any questions for us, feel free to send them, and we will kind of make this section a little bit better. But this week we are going with Would You Rather. So take it away, Renzler.
What's up? It's Would You Rather with Renzler. So let's get these questions going on. I remember last week I kind of motor-mouthed a bit, so I'm going to clean that up, fix that. Let's do it. So would you rather have all the champions be free or have to buy them all individually? Go ahead, Motgnarom.
I really like the system that they have now, which is buying them individually. I don't think that having every champion free as soon as it comes out is a huge benefit. I think it adds a little bit of advantage to the players who play a lot to be able to get into a new champion and really give it a try. So I enjoy having to pay for champions. It kind of adds some extended gameplay in my mind, something to work towards.
Okay, and what do you think, Aewynia?
I'm going to have to say buy them all individually, with either RP or IP. I think it's kind of like that little achievement, like you earn this character. And I like that feel. So
I like that as well. And I explained this like episode 5 or 6 or so when we were talking about money and champions and buying packs and things. I like having to use 1 or 2 champs and actually learn them to earn enough IP to buy someone else. So I also like buying them individually. I also like the fact that they don't have champions that are buy initially and then maybe 3 months or 6 months later they become free, because that could be the detriment of some players if they don't play a lot. You've got everybody else who's playing this champ because they had either RP or IP to buy them, but now, okay, eventually you get to have it and you get to have that free champ. I like the fact that they left the initial champs just free initially, and then all the new ones come out that you buy. So that's great. I love it. So would you rather have all these skins available for all players, or to have them available only during certain times, like events or seasonally based? Go ahead, Aewynia.
As I said before, a little bit early on in the podcast, that I rather have them only available during certain times. I think it just gives it that little extra feel where you are around during this time. As much as I'd love Butterfly Kog'Maw, it's special because it was only during that one time, that 1 year for Christmas. So.
Very cool. And what do you think, Motgnarom?
I'm the same. I definitely want to be able to get certain champions during certain times, and I think it's really cool when somebody comes out with a champion, one of those super old ones, like the Riot soccer team, the football team that they had. Riot didn't actually have a football team, but I know there are a couple skins that are in, soccer uniforms, which I think is really cool. I know Akali has one, but
Akali, Israel, Katarina, those three right off the bat.
Yeah, I think those are really cool, and I want to see more of that, and more, not necessarily more frequently, not to take away from the experience, but have some unique stuff.
Nice. All right, and I have to agree. You've said all the reasons why, but I have to agree. Okay, would you rather have a new game type, kind of like how Dominion came out, or a new 5v5 map that would be, in addition to Summoner's Rift, the standard, can be used during tournaments, normal games, ranked games, etc.? Go ahead, Motgnarom.
I would love a new 5v5 map. I do like Dominion. I enjoy it, but it's so different from the regular League of Legends game, and I really kind of have solidified as a 5v5 player. I played a couple threes recently, and it just wasn't as enjoyable. So I think having a new twist on the 5v5 with a different map, maybe with some different objective layouts, or perhaps a different mentality of your lane composition, could be a little bit more interesting than something completely different and kind of out of left field.
Okay, what do you think, Aewynia?
Wow, to be completely honest, I'm kind of on the fence there. Anything really new in terms of a map would really be nice at this point. But I'm going to have to say probably a new 5v5 map.
I would also like a new map. And the reason why I play 5v5, and the reason why I'm obviously playing Summoner's Rift and not Dominion, is because that's what the competitive scene is going for. That's what everybody plays. That's what everybody practices on. And I want to keep that narrow focus. Now, if they start doing ARAMs or Dominion or something for tournaments and things, I may expand myself into those. But I would say pretty much whatever they're doing competitively, that's what I want to go for. And I know I'm not competitive quality. I understand that. But if I do eventually get that way, I want to be learning and training in that way, so it's not a complete shock or surprise when I get to that level and said, oh yeah, by the way, we're not doing this anymore, and you have to relearn everything, because that would kind of suck. I mean, relearning the champs, you just have to use them slightly different way, but the mechanics of the map itself are obviously totally different if it's a new map.
Right.
Okay. So,
now, one thing
go ahead.
One thing that's really cool I believe you are coming to PAX this year, right, Renzler? PAX East?
PAX East 2013, yes.
Cool. One thing you'll notice when you go to PAX, and when you can back me up on this, is they actually run circuits of Dominion all day at their booth, which is awesome, because Dominion games are so fast and so quick that you can kind of turn 5 people out really quickly through it. But it's awesome watching. They have Riot people doing shoutcasts for it, kind of live commentating the game, and it's all day, and it's amazing. So they're fun for that. I don't know where I was going with that. I just thought it was cool.
Okay. Okay. Well, next question, and I know my answer for this one. Would you rather be on a winning esports team for League of Legends or work for Riot? Go ahead, Aewynia.
I'd probably have to say out of the two, work for Riot.
And why?
Why? Well, I personally think that for me, I could do a lot. more good or for the community actually working for Riot. I love the community. I love engaging with the community. I'm obviously not esports material whatsoever, and I accept that. But to be able to say be some sort of, if I could contribute in one way or another in making the community better or an enjoyable place, I would be extremely happy. And so I'd have to say work for Riot.
All right, Mr. Motgnarom, winning esports team or working for Riot?
I would rather be on a winning esports team. I think it would be, in my opinion, being able to be on the community side of an esports team and be a player that engages with the community and enhances it through that way. Not to say that working for Riot, I couldn't achieve that, but doing it through esports would be awesome. I think it's an awesome time for esports coming out, and it's going to be a huge thing. Plus, I'd like to be able to play video games for a living. That would be pretty awesome.
And you've summed it up, but yeah, winning esports team, basically same reason. I think I can do a lot of really good with the community if I was well known, if I was good at the game, winning things, doing well. For example, being like a sub on TSM because they've won the last 5 or 6 tournaments they've gone to now, which is insane. And yeah, I'd love to do that. It'd be a lot of fun. It's not all about the whole glory money thing. I mean, the money's nice. I can probably get the same amount or a little bit more working a day job like I do anyway, but I would just love to play games competitively. I've done things competitively, like bowling and things like that. I've been semi-pro for a while, but I know that video games simply engage me more, and that would just be so much fun all the time. Yeah, it's work, but it's so much fun. I'd love it. All right, so this is a very interesting question. I like the fact that you brought this up because it's like a subscription kind of thing. It makes me think. Would you rather, Motgnarom, get every new champion for a year for free, and I don't understand the other part of the question, or have to obtain new ones, just the normal model of obtaining new ones through IP or RP as normal?
Sorry, I'll rephrase the question. So it's basically, would you rather get every new champion that comes out a year from today as they come out, or would you rather be given all the current champions as they stand now, and then every time a new one comes out, just have to buy them like you normally would?
Got it.
IP or RP. I want all the champions that are out now, and then have to pay for new ones. I feel like what we're seeing a lot in the esports community, and what we're seeing a lot in games in general, are that the old characters are, still pretty good, and they're well built and understood within the game, and then they fit well into teams as it exists. And I would much rather learn all those old champions and get a foundation knowledge on the game than, just be continually getting new ones as they come out. There's so many characters that are out now that I still want to play and still want to learn, that I don't need to play every new champion as it comes out.
Okay, Aewynia, same question.
Well, unless you're like me, who already owns every released champion with the exception of Rengar, I would have to say I rather have the champions as they come out for a year. I've spent enough RP. That's what I want.
So let's say theorycraft here real quick. I'll answer the question, but I want to theory this out. What if they did some kind of either one-time buy all the champs now kind of thing, or like a subscription that says you spend X amount of RP, and every champion that we release in the next 12 months, we just give you. It's unlocked day 1, right after the patcher's done patching up. What would you pick? I mean, obviously your answer's there, yes, but would you do something like that?
If, let's say if they did something like that, and let's say it was you got the champion and the skin that was associated with it for free, but at a discount, like a pretty good discount because you're doing a subscription. So you're saying pretty much for a year, each time a champion's released, this is what I'm buying, which let's say 2 champions a month. So 24 champions, you're committing to that. Yeah, I would probably do it. Anything to really save me money.
Nice.
Let's say that there were 2 tiers. One tier was just the champion, and the other tier was the champion and its skin.
That would be pretty cool. I would probably go for that. I think that would be pretty cool. And you know how they offer the skin and the champion at a slightly discount? offer it slightly discounted. I think if I'm going to commit to this, let's say like the WoW subscription, you should get some sort of bonus. And I think, let's say it's 50% off. That's a pretty good bonus. So, and if it's at 50% off and, you get 2 a month, it's pretty much going to end up being
it's a really good deal and they get a good bump. Well, how about you, Mr. Motgnarom? What if we said, I don't know, I'll just throw a number out, 20k RP. You get every champ you don't own.
I don't know about that. I think maybe I would. What I would like to see a little bit more. League currently has 2 packs out right now. Let me check the names really quick.
30 champs. Yeah. It's like only
digital,
like 4k RP though.
Digital collectors and there's 3, sorry. There's the Champions Choice, Digital Collectors, and Champions Bundle. And these are pretty...
They're like 4k RP, right?
Yeah, they're between 3 and 4. And they've got a good amount of champions, and you get some runes, you get some... Actually even get some bonus Riot points, so if you deduct that from the price, it's even less. You get skins in some of them. I like that, I really do. But what it doesn't include is the new champions that have come out. I would like to see maybe, I don't know if yearly is appropriate, but in some sort of...
The new champ pack kind of thing?
Like, a new champion pack where they have the champions kind of grouped together.
Like the last 6 champs that we've released, boom, buy this pack.
Yeah, or maybe, I don't know, this is going way out there, and e-commerce director, take notes. I would love to see like a Demacian pack, where you get all the Demacian champions and then special Demacian skins for them.
That'd be cool.
And then group other champions together like that. And then maybe if you already own the champions, like I know a lot of players like Aewynia who already own all the champions. I mean, I know Aloysius, I'll pop in at any time, and he'll have upwards of like 20k IP just kind of sitting there because he doesn't have anything he quite wants to buy just yet. Skin packs where they're grouped together. I'm a big fan of packs, and there was a while where I was considering buying a couple of those bundles, but not already having some of the champions in there really kind of dissuaded me from buying them.
Yeah.
So I think like I have at least 5 or 6, and I don't have a lot of champions, but I have at least 5 or 6 champions.
Well, if they do packs with dynamic pricing, that would help. So a pack of 20 champs, you own 25% of them. Okay, it's that much less.
Right. I don't know, or maybe just to build your own. I like how you can only get those skins if you buy those packs. I'm a big fan of that.
That's cool, yes.
Exclusivity.
Have to agree.
But none of those skins, for me in particular, jump out. The 2 that I'm referring to is Goth Annie, which I think I have reverse Tibbers. I'm not sure. So I don't really need another Annie skin. And then Huntress Sivir, which I have PAX Sivir, which I think is awesome because it's like Tron. So I'm not going to go ahead and buy the Gamer's Choice pack.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I would buy into something like that. Purchase the rest of your champions for X amount of RP, and then it's dynamic off that. That would be a good impulse buy for me, or maybe like a gift. Now that you can buy RP in stores and stuff, I would do something like that.
All right. Well, that's it for Would You Rather with Renzler.
And that's it for the episode as well. Thank you for listening this week, and thanks to Aewynia for coming on in our time of need to fill in the third
Thank you very much.
Of course. I love you guys.
Always good to have you on, and let's do this. We were going to play a game. I think you guys are, but I have to go have some grub.
Well, you'll be streaming later on tonight, right?
I am streaming once. We're going to do our whole dinner and watching MasterChef thing. But when I get back, which is going to be a couple hours, but when I get back, 24-hour live stream. I'm calling it right now.
All right, I'll be there then. I have to go run and do something.
24-hour League of Legends live stream. Watch me fail live on the internet for a day straight as Lux.
Unfortunately, everybody watching this will miss out on that because the episode doesn't come out until after 24 hours from now.
Well, on the iTunes crawler, it'll be out tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
Because I'll be the first hour and a half of the stream is editing this.
Oh, nice.
I edit it, I get it out, it's on the website. People will see the URL right when it's done, and it will go directly to Dell. I'll get the crawler working, and it should be on iTunes in the morning.
Cool.
So under 12 hours, it should be on there.
Very nice.
But I'll also be putting it out on Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff, all the standard social media. So if anybody in the community, if you or Aewynia, if you have any of your players that want to play, if I'll try pinging Pentakill and Kill Lane and see if they want to do anything. But I'll just play until I drop.
Sounds good. If I'm on, just message me.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for listening this week. Please remember, if you would like to submit any questions to the Questions with Renzler section, please do so on our Twitter channel. I am quite lively and spry on that, so if you're on, follow us. We did surpass 100
Yay!
followers, which was pretty awesome. We're now up to 109,
Yay!
so love you guys for doing that. And we will see you next week.
Peace!
Bye!